Are Arsenal the best team in Europe right now? I know
you
your
mean after
team.
PSG, that's what you mean?
That's exactly my point. Yeah, I know. Obviously, you love your sacred Paris Saint-Germain, but how good are they?
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly the best team in the Premier League for now. There's no doubt. They're the best defence, not just in England, but in the whole of Europe. I think AC Milan are the next team with 4 goals conceded. They control games well. They're the best team without the ball, structurally, defensively, in terms of organisation. On set pieces, they are incredible, really. And they're still without Martin Odegaard, arguably the most creative player in that squad. So they have an amazing momentum right now going for them, for sure. And yeah, they are probably one of the best in Europe with Bayern Munich right now. The two most informed in Bayern have won 12 in 12 in all competitions. This is something else. But yeah, I think the belief within that camp is that they are that team too. So now they have, like we were saying earlier, they have to show it every game, big team, small team, Champions League, the League, League Cup, whatever you want. But I think they have really that confidence massive at the moment.
Ash, what about you? You believe in the hype or?
Yeah, I am, honestly, to be honest, this season. I've got to say, in years past, we all know Arsenal kind of have a wobble and there's a lot of noise around it. But this year, I just think that with the signings that they brought in, but on top of what they already had, you look at that defensive unit they've got with the goalkeeper. It seems like they've got all the pieces. I can't see why they don't get it done, the Premier League, at least this year. Yeah. I know it's a long season, so much football to be played, but they have such strength and depth in each position. It's probably the 2 centre-backs are key, really, if they can keep them and the goalkeeper. I can see them going on and doing the whole thing.
Arsenal winning the league?
Arsenal.
What does that mean? Because a lot of people are saying that.
I think it's themselves, because at the moment they are the only ones consistently performing at a level. They're not recreating football and we're looking at it, oh my God, free-flowing football, brilliant. But they're doing enough to win week in, week out. And we see that yesterday. And we talk about how they're over-reliant on set piece, etc. Yeah, their goals come. But it's a second phase. It's not directly from the set piece. The ball comes in. It's not first contact that goes in. The ball, Gabriel's trying to make contact with the ball. It comes back to Eze and he strikes it in. So it's not a direct from that set piece. So it's way you want to see it, look it up. When does a set piece kind of move out of the way? Because the ball come in, we know about Declan Rice delivery into the box. Fantastic. When the ball comes back, they're just there first to react.
How key is it, the fact that we're this far into the season, but they've already done Anfield, Old Trafford and St James's Park and come through with points in a couple of those games.
Yeah, and hosting City as well, obviously at the Emirates. And I think if you had told Arteta and the players, would you sign for this many points after those games, they would have taken it, really. And you can even look at the game away at Liverpool and that Szoboszlai free kick with 10 minutes to go, and that could have been a draw. And it would be even a better for now for them. So it's a great start of the season. And now maybe where the games are a little bit easier, certainly not the likes of Liverpool away and Newcastle away, United away or City at home, that's also where they need the points, because last season is the point they dropped on their way during that campaign that in the end cost them.
Yeah, I mean, Ash, when you've got teams like that and you've already faced them, you've already been to Anfield and had those moments, how much psychologically is that a help to know that they're out the way and done?
It can be a help or a hindrance, I think, because sometimes you build yourself up for the so-called bigger games, and what you're saying is then you just let your guard down a little bit against the so-called lesser team. But I think that having the confidence, especially that Newcastle game, when I watched that one, I was like, okay, this Arsenal team is a level above last year's Arsenal team. They've learnt from some of the mistakes that they made. They seem more experienced. They're just solid throughout. The strength in depth is great. I think Arteta's team are positioned really well this season.
I need to make it quickly because I think Arsenal, I just don't see who's going to beat Arsenal. I honestly don't. I think the day when they played Liverpool away at Anfield and Szoboszlai got the absolute worldie of a goal, I'm sitting there watching that game thinking, this is the most comfortable I've ever seen an Arsenal team at Anfield. Yep. And obviously he scores that goal and then it's, Arsenal going nowhere. Arsenal didn't lay a glove on them. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're playing against the best team in the country, have scored in every game they played in, haven't lost since September at home. And I'm looking at that game thinking, who's ever going to beat Arsenal with their team? And I think it's got to start. I think you could take 8 points off Liverpool. People will go, they haven't started. Great teams win games when they're not playing well. They haven't played well from the first day of the season. Yeah. Last kick of the game, Burnley, 2 points. Last kick of the game, Newcastle, 2 points. The Arsenal game, it was only in a worldy goal. Bar that never looked like scoring. There's points, that have gone. They'll be looking at it in a positive way of going, we haven't played well, and we're 1 point behind, but they need to start playing because they could be 4 points behind before they play.
Is that the thing of champions, though? Do you know what I mean? Is that the thing of, like, it can be two sides, right? It can either be that they're playing in that champions form and they're not playing well but still getting the results.
I know a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
But when you look at the overall game, I saw the Palace game a few weeks ago, and they were struggling. And that's I've seen, oh my goodness, Palace could have had 3 or 4 goals the first half. And I know people say, yeah, when you're not playing well, you're getting results. You have to look at the whole game. Okay. And it doesn't look good for Liverpool. But they got a little big game coming up this weekend.
Massive game.
Arsenal's title ambitions are once again the talk of the Premier League, and for good reason. Mikel Arteta's side has been one of the most consistent and entertaining teams to watch this season. With a solid defence, a confident midfield, and a front line that can hurt anyone, Arsenal have shown they can compete toe-to-toe with Manchester City and Liverpool. The question is, can they maintain that momentum when it matters most? One major difference from last season is Arsenal's maturity. They're managing games better, handling pressure moments with composure, and grinding out results even when they're not at their best. Declan Rice has added steel to the midfield, while players like Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard continue to raise their levels. The squad looks more balanced and resilient, exactly what you need in a title race that could go down to the wire. However, consistency is key. Arsenal's biggest challenge will be avoiding slip-ups in matches they're expected to win. Arteta has learned from last season's collapse, rotating smarter and keeping the team mentally sharp. Injuries could still play a part, but with players like Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard, and Kai Havertz stepping up when needed, Arsenal now have the depth to stay competitive until May. So, can Arsenal actually lift the Premier League trophy this time? If they keep their focus, continue to defend like champions, and deliver big performances in the crunch fixtures, they absolutely can. The hunger is there, the quality is undeniable, and Arteta's project finally feels ready to reach its peak. The title race is on, and Arsenal are right in the thick of it.